Hello everyone, welcome to Informatica customer support videos. In this video, we will be covering how to configure the email alerts for the domain and the application services. So agenda of this video will be whenever there is an unexpected terminations of the application services or your domain is down, you will get an email alerts or the email notifications for the same. So how we can configure that. So before we start to configure it, there are few basic terminologies that we need to be aware of. Is the first one is the gateway node, and the second is the master gateway node. So gateway node is the node where we can it can run application services, it can run its own service manager process, and it can run the management task and the administrator tool. Basically, I mean, it can update the domain DB. So all these whatsoever node can perform all these activities can be a gateway node, but that does not necessarily means that all the gateway nodes will gonna be perform these activities. Then it comes to the master gateway node. So out of your available gateway nodes in the domain, any node can act as the master gateway node and will be performing these above activities, meaning updating the domain database, runs the management tasks, the administrator rule, and all. So if you want to identify uh, uh, which which of your node is acting as a master gateway node, you can check it via the logs. If you go ahead and check the Catalina.out file, you can see logging of the messages something like this, that had started the Tomcat process and it has initiating the various services. So this is one way to identify if one of your gateway node is acting as a master gateway node. And the third terminologies we'll be covering is the worker node. So worker node is basically which can run the service manager processes and the application services, but it will not communicate with the domain DB like your gateway nodes. So a worker node will communicate to the master gateway node, and when the and master gateway node in turn communicate with the domain DB. And the worker node will directly not be communicating with the domain database. So that's the main difference between the worker node and the gateway nodes. Now, coming back to the alerts, so we will be dividing it into two sections: the domain with a single node and domain with the multi nodes. So, in a single node setups, these three scenarios you will be receiving the alerts. First one is if your application services are terminated or there is a failover happens, meaning the your particular application services has moved its process from node 1, from the failover happened, right? Okay. And the second is the notification about the master gateway election, and the third one is the extension of the second number, point number 2, which is the startup of node, since it will be elected as the master gateway node. There's a one catch here, which is that whenever you will not be able to receive the alerts when your node goes down, because these domain level alerts are dependent on the single node. Hence, any such scenario when your node is down, you won't be able to receive the email alerts for a single node scenario. Now, coming to the multi node, we'll be dividing it into two categories as the master gateway nodes and the gateway nodes, and the two situations where your node is down or the alerts related to the domain. So if you observe, in there are two terminologies we are using: graceful shutdown and the abnormal termination. Graceful shutdown is whenever due to some maintenance activity or some process you are yourself bringing down the domain, and abnormal termination is basically due to some reason or due to some issues your node or domain is down. So with respect to the node, from the when we talk about the master gateway node, you'll receive the email alerts like this: the master gateway node was terminated, and in the same message will be received for the abnormal termination as well. And when we coming to the other gateway nodes, you will not receive any email alerts. On the other hand, when we are coming to the domain will be having messages like election of the master gateway node, or uh, informing that one of the node has become inactive in your domain. So for the master gateway node, you will receive the alerts for the master election, and for the other gateway nodes, you will receive the notification something like your node has become inactive, right? So this is the uh, trips information of what kind of emails you will be receiving and what kind of situation. So this is the theory part. Let's go ahead and configure how we can configure to receive these kinds of alerts. Let's start with the demo. So to configure it again, we have to log into the admin console and come to the domain, services and nodes domain, and come to this SMTP configuration and define the host name, port name, username, password, in email alerts, sender email ID. This is the email ID which you will receive from through which you will receive the email alerts. After configuring this SMTP configuration, you have to subscribe for the alerts. For that, you have to come to manage tab, preferences, and do edit this option and check for this subscribe for alerts option. Click on OK. As I've already did it, I'm doing it a cancel. Now this alerts has been configured for this admin user. So make sure in the security native, you for this admin user, you must define a email ID to which you'll want to receive the email alerts on. Okay, after you configure this, you will be able to see the alerts being received in the mailbox. Uh, this is a sample screenshot of how emails will be received. So as I given this email ID over that SMTP configuration at the domain level, this is the email ID I will receive the email from, and this is unexpected termination of the MRS in this particular node, particular domain. So this I got the email from. So if you want to understand further on this, these are the links that can help you. We would love to hear from you. Please share your feedback on the support videos at informatica.com, or you can use our Twitter handle as well. Thank you for watching this video.